On the news tonight, former Vice President and 2019 PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar clinches PDP presidential ticket in the 2023 general elections. Correspondent on a special assignment to Boston Reformative Home in Abeokuta, plus updates from the world of sports. Hello, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Channel 12 News Tonight. My name is Darisit Adedoku. The Special Presidential National Convention of the People's Democratic Party ended in Abuja, declaring former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as the party's candidate for the 2023 election. Timothy Yusuf reports that he pulled 371 votes to defeat his closest opponent, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, who scored 237 votes.
The Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, the melting point of PDP's search for a presidential candidate for the 2023 general elections. It was a long Saturday and also a long night, crossing over Sunday. 774 delegates filing out alphabetically according to their states. They are done with an assignment as directed by their conscience. After a meticulous process under the watchful eyes of the David Mark-led committee, eventual winner of the 2022 Presidential National Convention of the PDP ahead of the 2023 general elections emerged. The clock ticks in Atiku's favor. It's a victory for all, says Atiku, with no victor, no vanquished.
And I therefore pledge that I will work to ensure I restore unity and I give a sense of belonging to all Nigerians, irrespective of their places of origin and irrespective of the faith they practice.
The outcomes of the election show that Nigerians want us back to power.
For the PDP, the journey to relaunching itself to the central government has just begun. But before achieving that, one major river to cross. Atiku to face 17 other presidential candidates. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Governor Dakwabiodu's Chief of Staff, Salisu Shoaib, has been declared winner of APC Ogun Central Senatorial District Primary to represent the party in the 2023 general elections. Yemi Dalemo reports.
$360 delegates from the 6 local government areas that constitute Ogun Central Senatorial District converged on the Centenary Hall at NTA Abeokuta to elect party's standard bearer in the forthcoming general election. Accredited delegates later voted for their preferred aspirants, and at the end of the exercise, the presiding officer, Remi Azan, announced Salisu Shoaib as the winner of the primary, having polled 301 votes to defeat his closest rival, Ganiu Amzad, who scored 62 votes, and 4 other aspirants. In his acceptance speech, the winner, Salisu Shoaib, promised quality representation at the Red Chamber and saluted the spirit of comradeship displayed by other aspirants.
I promise to provide representation that is symbolic of the rich heritage of the Egba people. The voice of Ogun Central will be very loud and clear in the Red Chambers.
An aspirant, Adebola Shofela, did not participate in the process as he withdrew from the race before the commencement of the exercise. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
In related development, the former Ogun State Governor Otumba Gbenga Daniel has won Ogun East Senatorial Primary of APC with a landslide margin of 450 votes out of 496 total valid votes. Correspondent Joe Popola reports that the incumbent Ogun East Senator Lekon Mustafa stepped down from the primary.
Security arrangement for each free senatorial primary in Ogun East was unprecedented to ensure party supporters and the over 500 delegates from the 9 local governments cast their ballots in an orderly manner devoid of rancor. INEC representatives and other stakeholders were on ground to monitor the process. Just when the second local government delegates were voting, agent of Senator Lekon Mustafa Babatunde Ikpaye announced that the incumbent Ogun East senator has stepped down from the contest. This automatically made the pendulum to further swing in favor of Otumba Gbenga Daniel, who arrived at the venue amidst cheers. For the party, the decision of Senator Lekon Mustafa doused what could have been a dramatic and tension-soaked primary. In spite of the withdrawal of the incumbent senator, the process continued till the presiding officer finally announced the results after a thorough collation.
While Lekon Mustafa scored 29. So the total vote is 496.
Otumba Gbenga Daniel earlier left the venue before the final announcement. In Ijebu-Ode, Joel Bukwola, NTA News.
We apologize for the loss of audio in some parts of the report. And still talking politics, a serving Lagos West Senator Solomon Olamilekun Adeola has claimed a APC ticket for Ogun West Senatorial District in the 2023 general elections. Tokwe Alabi reports that Senator Adeola scored 294 votes to defeat the incumbent Senator Tolu Odebi, who scored 0 votes.
294 delegates were accredited to elect a candidate from 27 senators, Olamilekun Adeola, Lagos West, and Tolu Odebi, Ogun West, to represent APC in the 2023 general elections, as the 2 other aspirants, Abiodun Akinlade and Gboyega Nasiru Isiaka, had stepped down to vie for another positions. After the delegates had cast their ballots and votes counted, the returning officer, Dr. Dakpo Ogunkoya, announced Senator Olamilekun Adeola, popularly known as Yayi, as winner, having pulled 294 votes to defeat the incumbent senator for Ogun West, Tolu Odebi, who scored 0 votes.
Olamilekun Solomon Adeola scored 294 votes.
Appreciating the delegates, Senator Adeola assured people of Ogun West of good representation at the Senate if elected.
I know my people, I know where the shoe pinches, I know how they feel. I can assure you that going forward, from 2023, after the election will have come and be held, from then thereon, representative par excellence, that's what they should look up to and look forward to.
More importantly, I'm also excited for the people of Ogun West. My expectations is that they want the same of what has been going on, the transformation, the leadership, the development that one has brought to bear.
Senator Olamilekun Adeola, who hails from Onibata compound, Bahayi, Ilaro, recently transferred his voter registration to his country home, Ilaro, to enable him vie for APC ticket for Ogun West Senatorial District. From Ilaro, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
Away from politics, the suspected drug lord is also identified as a member of an international drug trafficking ring that also operates in South Africa. Also, a 36-year-old Nigerian based in Italy has been caught with 95 pellets of heroin ingested in his body at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Meanwhile, NDLEA says it has seized quantum of illicit substances to include cannabis and tramadol capsules in raids conducted in Edo, Kaduna, Kogi, Akwa Ibom, and Oyo states, as well arrested no fewer than 3 persons in connection with the crime. Nigerian youths have been advised not to rely on certificates in search of white-collar jobs, but rather engage themselves in employability skills for self-reliance and employment opportunities. This was the fallout of a youth empowerment summit tagged My Skill, My Life by the National Youth Council, Ogun State Chapter. Yemi Dalimo reports.
The intention behind the summit, organized by the Junior Chambers International, Abeokuta Hills, in conjunction with the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter, was to empower the participants with employability skills so as to become self-reliant rather than searching for jobs that required only certificates and degrees. Speakers who spoke on the summit's topic, My Skills, My Life, charged the participants to discover their talents and acquire skills in addition to their various degrees to earn a livelihood.
Of our curriculum in our 4 walls of tertiary institution is no more creating that employability skill in our students. So when they graduate, even after NYSC, most of the job they tend to seek for, they are not being employable because they don't have the required skills.
There are lots of unemployable youths. There's a difference between going to school, getting a degree, and not being fit for any suitable employment.
Some of the highlights from report writing is identifying basically if it is individual or corporate goal that you are setting out to do. So it's actually starts from mindset, the vision around it, and also the task that it is to be accomplished. One
of the sponsors of the program, a youth ambassador and recipient of Ogun State Youth Outstanding Chief Executive Officer 2021 Award, Victor Eniola Mark, represented harp on the need for youth to be multi-skilled for self-reliance.
When young people are engaged, when young people have a particular skill they can leverage on, they will be master of themselves. Apart from being masters themselves, they will be useful to themselves. They will be useful to their immediate society. They will be useful to the larger society.
Some of the participants described the summit as timely and informative.
Actually learned how to deliver more effectively concerning technology and how technology is improving and how we can actually get more skills.
I've gained skills concerning consistency. For every youth out there, we need to work on our skills.
Participants agreed to put to practice the outcome of the summit. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
You're still on to Channel 12 News. More news after this time out. Please stay with us.
NTA Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. Dealing with juvenile offenders, stakeholders have advocated continuous specialized training for officers working at the reformative centers to ensure that the rights of the offenders are respected and protected while undergoing the process of rehabilitation. Lekon Agbode, who visited Boston Training Institution, Abeokuta, where juvenile offenders are remanded for both educational and vocational training, reports that the center also runs effective rehabilitation services.
Delinquency, otherwise known as juvenile offending, is an act of involving in unlawful behavior as a minor or individual younger than the statutory age of maturity. In Nigeria, there are juvenile correction facilities established by the federal government to give offenders reformative training for them to be useful persons in society. At one of the facilities, Buster Training Institution at NTA Abeokuta, Ogun State, the students are exposed to educational and vocational trainings like tailoring, electrical installation, among others, while others are enrolled for junior and senior secondary school certificate examinations, including JAMB.
We have good dormitory where we keep them with well-aerated rooms. We have a supply of water, food. Recently, the federal government has increased their feeding. We have clinic.
Even this JAMB, present JAMB, we have a student that scores as up as 284. 25 years.
And this is our ICT unit. In this particular center, in this Buster, this will be the first of its kind. And these are the first set of students we are having, 6 of them.
To the students, the facility has equipped them with relevant education, regular work, and discipline needed to change their lives for better.
So many times when I came here newly, I was very arrogant, so I decided not to be coming to class. But there was this particular day, told someone to come and call me, and I was severely disciplined. And since that day, that sense of discipline has been on my head. So I decided to face my education squarely, that when I read my education, I become someone great in life.
Now, my life is meaningful.
The students at the center are male. Officials say there are restorative approaches they are adopting in attending to female offenders.
We take the girl to the welfare section. We have our counselor there. Then we counsel the girl. And we ask the mother to take her back.
Stakeholders advocate effective juvenile judicial system in Nigeria and also called for measures to monitor activities of rehabilitated offenders.
But it is not enough when they are leaving the postal home. They are rehabilitated. The society they are going back to. What has that society done to help continue the way they have been shaped? Where parents are not diligent in their duties. We go back to square one. So in this process of rehabilitation, the courts, the society have a role to play.
This is Buster Institution in Abeokuta, where destinies of young children, especially those who are delinquent and in need of care, are being treated with love. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde.
For Nigerians to respect, identify language, tradition and culture of each of the ethnic groups in the country for peaceful coexistence and in the interest of the nation building has been advocated. This was the outcome of the maiden edition of Ogun General Assembly Summit held at the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, Tokyo, Badagry in Lagos State. To bring you details of the report in our subsequent bulletin. And on that note, to wrap up Channel 12 News, thank you for watching. I'm Idara Sit Adedoku.